Hello, Year 2. On Tuesday, the 2nd of March 2021, we begin Lesson 7 in Maths No Problem. It's another fractions lesson, and it's one of two lessons on comparing and ordering fractions. This one, Lesson 7, you'll find on page 119 of your textbook 2B. I really like the question again today, so it makes us think. We've got Lulu and Elliot, who each have a cake of the same size. They each cut their cake into 4 equal pieces. Lulu eats 2 pieces. Elliot eats 3 pieces. Who eats more cake? I'm sure you have figured that out. But can you tell me what fraction each child ate? Fraction did Lulu eat if she ate 2 out of 4 pieces? What fraction did Elliot eat if he ate 3 out of 4 equal pieces? I'm assuming that you were calling out at the screen to me that Lulu ate 2 quarters, which we also know as a half, and Elliot ate 3 quarters. 3 quarters is more than 2 quarters, so Elliot eats more cake than Lulu. Let's have a look now at part 2 of Let's Learn. Arrange the numbers in order, starting with the greatest. Okay, so we've got a fraction of 2/3, 1 whole, and 1/3. You can see straight away by the shaded amount that 1, okay, has the most shaded parts. In fact, it's all shaded yellow. 3/3 are shaded yellow, and 3/3 is the same as 1 whole. So 1 is the greatest. And the smallest is here, 1 part out of 3 shaded. So if we were to write that in order from greatest to smallest, we would start with 1, then we'd have our 2/3, and we'd finish with the smallest fraction, which is 1/3. Let's move on to part 3. Here we are told, arrange the fractions in order, starting with the smallest. So this time we're starting with the smallest. Don't get tricked by Maths No Problem. Remember, always read the instructions. So we've got 3 quarters, 1 quarter, and 2 quarters, otherwise known as a half. Okay, so if we've got 3 quarters, 1 quarter, and 2 quarters, it's very easy when they're shaded in like this to see that 1 quarter is the smallest. So let's put 1 quarter there. And we also need to start with the smallest on our line here, up to the greatest. So what's going to come next? 2 quarters, of course. Okay, and then 3 quarters. How many quarters would make 1 whole, children? That's right, 4 quarters. Well done. And here we have 4 quarters making 1 whole in part 4 of Let's Learn. And underneath a number line explaining we go 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, and up to 1. Okay, the smallest fraction was 1 quarter, and we have 2 quarters, 3 quarters, and when we get to 4 quarters, it makes 1 whole. And Ruby is explaining that 3 quarters is less than 1, and she's using the special symbol here. 3 quarters is less than 1. And Sam's explaining that 3 quarters here, 1, 2, 3 quarters, is more than 1 quarter. And he's also using our special symbol. 3 quarters is greater than or more than 1 quarter. Okay. Let's have a little look at the guided practice now, which I'd like you to do in your workbooks as usual. Question 1, arrange the fractions in order. Start with the smallest. Okay, so you're starting with the smallest. Remember, really important information. Starting with the smallest. So we've now got fractions of 1/3. Can you see that? And 1 whole here. So this 1 whole is 3/3. So which is the smallest? 1/3, 2/3, or 1 whole? Start with the smallest and build up to the greatest. Question 2. Oh, look here. So we've got 1/2 and another half, 2 halves making a whole. We have to write the fraction here and the amount here, and then fill in using our special symbols for greater than and less than. 1/2 is something than 0. So is it greater than or less than? A half is something than 0. Okay, so I think they want you to write the word greater or less than there and use the symbol here. Look at it carefully. 1/2 is something than 0, and our symbol will go here. 1/2 is something than 1, and our symbol will go here. Okay, so you write greater than or less, greater or less in those boxes, and you put the symbol for greater and less than there. I'm sure you'll whiz through that because you're really good with these symbols now. And then you can move to your worksheet 7 in your workbook 2B, pages 107 to 108. So 107 to 108, and they will look like this. Question 1. Colouring pencils again. Colour the parts to show each fraction. Fill in the blanks. So you've got to colour in a fraction of 1/4 here. You've got 4 equal parts, so you're colouring in one of them. Here you've got to colour in 3/4. You've got, again, 4 equal parts, so you need to colour in 3 of them. And then you need to fill in the blanks here using these fractions. So you've got to use 1/4 and 3/4 here and here to make this make sense, this sentence. Something is greater than something. Something is smaller or less than something. Yes? And part B, you got to colour in 2 parts out of 5 and 3 parts out of 5. We call these fifths. Okay, fifths, 2/5 and 3/5. And you need to colour in 2 here and 3 here and make these sentences make sense. So which one is greater than the other and which one is smaller than or less than the other? Okay, and then finally, questions 2 and 3. Arrange the fractions in order, starting with the smallest, between 3/5, 4/5 and 2/5, which is the smallest. The shaded amount helps you. The pictures really do help. The smallest here, the one in the middle here, and the greatest here. And then you've got fractions in 7ths. Ooh, so which one would be bigger? Look very carefully. The bottom number, the denominator stays the same. We're studying the numerator. Which one's the smallest? It goes here. Which one's the largest? It goes here. And the one in the middle goes here. Question 3. Arrange the fractions in order, starting with the greatest. Don't be tricked. So again, you're looking at the number on the top, the numerator, to help you decide which is the greatest and goes here, which is the smallest, which goes here, and the one in the middle goes here. And finally, you've got denominators of 8, so we're in 8ths, okay, 8 equal parts, and you're going to order those from greatest to smallest. I am sure you'll whiz through this and be on to the challenge before you know it.